I'm great. What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So now I would like to say to you, if you would love to introduce yourself, then it will be good for the watchers and listeners. They will get you clearly. So yeah, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, definitely. So this is Sujan Ghosh from West Bengal, specifically from Malda. Currently, I am in my second year of college. I am pursuing actually BA honors in English. So I think that's a short introduction about me. If I would talk about my hobbies, so I love to make communication, and if possible, then try to learn from like these guys that I actually often talk with. The second thing, I love to read books, and the third thing I would say, and the first and foremost thing I think I should have mentioned it, right? It is writing. I love writing. So yeah, these are the I think basic thing that I love to do quite often.
Wonderful to know about you, Sujan. So now I'm moving towards the series of questions. I'll ask some basic questions to you. So just are you ready for the answers?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Let's do it.
That's wonderful. So first, I think the first question goes to you is that what is the reason for learning English?
For me, why am I learning English language is that I would say, uh, yeah, definitely there is a reason. For me, it is that I love writing. I want to do something in the field of writing, right? A kind of career I want to build it in the field of writing. So that's why I think that's why these days I'm like more focusing on my writing as well as my communication skills. I think these two are quite relevant with each other and very, very important, right? So yeah, that would be my final and foremost reason. But still, except I also love to communicate. I love to like talk with that language. So yeah, these are the quite reasons.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So these are your reasons, like writing, you're interested in it, and talking to the people also you do like a lot. And communication skills are very important for the life. Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. So now moving towards the another question. So what kind of challenges are you facing while learning English?
Okay, so for me, the challenge is that yeah, as I think it depends on the stage that we are in, right? For example, if I would say I am in the intermediate stage, so for me, my challenges are that I face these days, like sometimes I do mistakes, a kind of silly mistakes, because I personally think my basics are not so strong or the foundation of grammars, right? But still these days I'm not dealing with this problem like so much. But what I think the most important point that or the most important thing that I'm dealing with these days is that I'm not able to communicate, I'm not able to convey my thoughts into this like through this word, through like whenever I meet somebody physically. For example, I'm talking to you right now, so for me it is not that big a problem, right? Because I think I'm quite able to deliver my point the way actually I want it to. But whenever I just meet somebody physically, for example, so I think I feel a kind of hesitation, right? So I think this is the problem that I'm trying to overcome, and that's why I just try to talk with as much people as possible.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, I got you. Yeah, so I am going to ask another question to you. That is, what is your expectation from yourself?
From myself, like can you elaborate your point, like you are
Yeah, in
like
case of English, what do you expect, I think, from this kind of practice or practice of your English speaking?
practice. Okay. So I think like when it comes to learning any languages, right? So it is really, really important to practice. And you should you should have expectation, but based on reality, right? It depends on how much time you give or how many times actually you are giving, you are putting into in order to learn any languages, right? So if you are, for example, if you are talking with one or two people in a day, so usually you have to think that yeah, it would take like almost 1 to 2 years to be better, to be fluent at that language, right? So it depends on how much practice you do. So for me, I think I am in the intermediate level, and definitely it also needs a lot of practice. I still do a lot of mistakes, I still do a little bit of mistakes, and I think I need to work upon all the things that I am like doing or I am misleading, right, sometimes. So if I would talk about my expectations, so I do not have any such expectation that I need to fulfill with that language. By the way, I know it would take a few months of time or almost a year, right? And I will be there wherever I want to. I do not have. I actually am not in a hurry.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You should be patient enough to get a language for sure. So now moving towards the another question, that is, what is your medium of education?
My medium of my education, right? So it is Bengali, like because as I said, I am from West Bengal and our native language is Bengali. So I completed my 12th words like from Bengali language. But whenever I think, I personally believe whenever we are in college, right? So most of the college, or if you are in a good college, by the way, so except you are a literature student, right? Your native literature student. Most of the colleges, like in our like classes, happens in English language. Right. So, but still, I would consider me as a Bengali medium because most of the time in our classes, we talk in Bengali with our peers and with our teachers also sometimes. Right. So there is hardly any different. Like, so I would say, yeah, I am from Bengali medium.
Oh, okay, I got your point. So now moving towards the last question of this session, that how much time are you spending for speaking in English per day? How much time do you spend per day for speaking English?
If I would talk about only this speaking part, right? So it would be around an hour or more than that. Like on a daily basis, I just do make two calls, right? But earlier, what happens? I used to make a lot of calls. I used to talk with a lot of people, and that time I was just focusing on the quantity. But these days, I have understood that throughout like my journey, that it would be better if I would focus more on the quantity. Sorry, more on the quality of the content or the kind of conversation that I'm talking with somebody, right? I think it is really, really important. Like there is a code also, focus on the quality rather than quantity, right? So I just, if for me, if I would be able to make one or two conversation with a patience, and if I am able to learn something in that 30 minutes, right? So I think that would be enough for me. And these days I'm just trying to maintain my the level of fluency that I am having with, right? So I think, yeah, that is the thing, I am spending that much of time on my practice.
Yeah, that's fantastic because, of course, I do also believe in it. In the beginning, quantity is okay because in the beginning, when you're a beginner, then you can talk a lot. Then you can just cross this stage. And after that, when you're becoming a good kind of intermediate and advanced, then it is okay to find out a good partner who's good enough to do practice. Then you can become better at it. Yeah, of course, I'm totally agree with you. So thank you so much, Sujan. I think I'm really happy to talk to you, and thank you so much for joining us.